Hey, greetings everybody. This is Wesley Pepper. This is the Art Lexcia. This is episode 106. And yeah, man, just before I get to it's been a real. I've been talking about this. This is only actually the fourth episode that we published for the year. So clearly there's been a disruption in the schedule and everything. I'm hoping actually to touch a little bit about that with today's guest. Because it's really been disruptive most parts of the year. But anyway, it is what it is. Yeah, guys, also remember to, Caesar's still not with me, but hopefully she will be with me pretty soon. I hope so. Remember, guys, we also, our primary, I keep forgetting to mention this in every episode, but like we're on YouTube, please, yeah, our main source on YouTube, check out there, all the subscribers. We actually get quite a lot of thanks to all the comments and the likes and everything on each episode. It's much appreciated. I do understand with last week's episode, the beginning, the sound was a bit too loud. It was a technical thing. I'm not gonna get into it, but it won't happen again. Remember, our email address is theartlexia.podcast@gmail.com. You can always get to know that. And always remember to like, subscribe, and comment on the channel, man. And help us grow, man. Help us grow because Anyway, like I mentioned earlier on, it's been the scheduling for everything has been disruptive, and it's like 1st of March or beginning of March, so you can understand most of the African entrepreneurs are feeling the pinch, and it just makes complete sense to talk about galleries first. And I mean, Obtain Art Gallery is too dope, and they've got their whole process and approach to selling art is really cool. They're based in the East Rand, and we're talking to a Happy today. You are the phone. Firstly, my brother. Firstly, welcome. As you know, it's been we've been trying to reschedule this a bunch of times, and finally here today. So, firstly, welcome, and yeah, man, how are you today? No, fuck me. Don't tell me this thing is frozen again. Oh. Ah, are you with us? Yeah, so for the listeners, there's clearly a delay in the broadcast, but just bear with me.
Yes,
Yeah, please go ahead.
sure. Okay, so I didn't get what you were saying, but I'm guessing what I heard was for me to introduce myself, from not mistaken. Is that what
Yeah,
you said?
yeah, man. Basically, I was just introducing you and introducing Obtain Art Gallery. Yeah, man, let's just start off the cuff, man. Firstly, how are you and welcome? I think we should start there.
Thanks a lot. I'm good. I'm good. I'm hanging there. Yes, I'm actually okay.
All right, man. There's also again a bit of a delay in the broadcast, but please bear with us, listeners. I'm hoping it will just get better with time. My brother, can you just give my listeners just like a brief introduction to Obtain Art Gallery, sort of like a press statement, just so they can understand the whole concept, and we'll just unpick it bit by bit.
Cool. So Optim Art was started in 2018. We actually wanted to make a gallery that will be existing online. We didn't want to distract our viewers with anything. We simply just wanted people to obtain art. So that's the main purpose, and we realized that having a traditional art gallery where we rent a space and people come in, this might actually limit us from trying to sell art to everyone, because we can only accommodate so many people. But on an online platform, then everyone has access to be able to look at the art and buy the art. So we look at the wider market and decided, why not we make a gallery that just simply offers good investment artworks to the world. So that's when we started Obtain Art Gallery. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so you say 2018, so that was 2 years before the pandemic. In hindsight, do you think you were actually kind of ahead of the time, or ahead of the, let me say, wave?
Anytime, okay?
Um, when you say that you guys were founded in 2018, right? That
Yeah.
was 2 years before the pandemic. In hindsight, do you think you were ahead of the curve, given that everybody is moving to fully, digitize everything?
Sure.
You
I
got
think it was, we were actually fortunate, because we could see that the world is actually heading to, digital world. So that's when we decided to let us just move in this now, while it is still fresh, it still hasn't progressed that much here in SA. But then I think after the COVID, a lot of people now started using online platforms as we couldn't just go out due to that lockdown. So I think it was quite a perfect timing for us to start
Yeah.
that gallery. But before that, the Optim Art was formerly called Shouting Art, where we wanted to become like the activist, in art. We wanted to to really, we had so many artists were complaining about art galleries. They were calling for people to actually voice out their complaints. And as we were doing that, we saw a lot of people who wanted to purchase the art. That back then, it was just us showcasing the artworks. So seeing the market that people actually want to collect the art, then we moved to actually a commercial gallery, but strictly keeping it online. So yeah.
That's actually quite interesting. Just a quick question on your demographics. Since you guys are based in the East Rand, does all your I
Yeah.
guess your data, does all your research and information, is that the right word? But I hope you get what I'm saying. Is it all based in the East Rand, or you guys looking at Gauteng as a or there's like most, not just the artists, but the infrastructure and so forth. Did you get that?
Fortunately, no. We've been using platforms like Google AdSense, where we'll be advertising our website. Clients, they're coming from overseas. So we hardly get the people that we deal with here are the ones that we were already way back, not getting so much African people, let alone East End. We don't even have that actually bought from us. That have people from Joburg, same thing we do have from Basonia, but then East End, no. So yeah, but mostly they are overseas.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. Just for my listeners again. So it seems like the line is a bit unstable. I think even on my side, got a notification there. So yeah, just please bear with us. I think I'll just speak a bit slowly. And you know what, my brother, I think I will just ask my questions with video. I'll turn off my video just to save the bandwidth. So, so at least we both audible. Um, so I was gonna get straight to so we get like where you guys are based, and like how the I guess the vision of the gallery. My brother, 2023 I started off on a pretty hard note. You said, firstly, did you get the first bit that I said? It looks like the screen froze again. Happy, did you get that first bit that I said?
No, I didn't get any of it.
Ush, 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 ush. Okay, okay. I think I'm just gonna turn off my video. Just to save some bandwidth. Is that better?
Yes, that's perfect.
Oh, okay, 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 nice one. What I was saying, so we got like an idea of like where you guys are based and the vision of the art gallery and so forth. Um, what I was picking up is like it's 2023, my brother, and as you know, things are a bit like on the crazy, the constant power cuts, which is completely disruptive, and it's hitting our industry pretty hard. And so you mentioned early on that you guys first started off like listening to all these complaints from all these various artists, and that sort of like was a catalyst to update Art Gallery. I mean,
Yes, yes.
artists are not in a very good space right now. Are you guys conceptualizing their because I sort of want to gonna go somewhere with this question, but I want to start off here, like just know how you guys are conceptualizing uh, 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 all these issues around 2023, high fuel prices, artists are really stressed out, people are not as productive as what they usually are, at least for the first bit of the year, and so forth. How are you guys working with all of this, the situation that we are in?
Sure. Sure. I wouldn't know how to best answer this question,
Well,
but
just yeah, just answer off the cuff and just like what comes to mind, because maybe I didn't structure it properly, but I'm sure you get what I'm saying.
sure. Okay, so if I'm getting the question correct, asking how are we planning to, to tackle the problems that artists are facing, in terms of, I don't know, productivity or
2023.
maybe pricing. Sweet. Yes, yes. What we're doing, what we've noticed, especially with most artists, is that, you know, most they hardly in sales days, the artists be due to, the, a lot of people, there's a lot of expenses nowadays. There's few people that actually consider art of the country, but then most of the artists, they don't have access, to that kind of database. And another thing that we have discovered, that most artists, they have this fear of the AI that is now capable of making artworks, in a way that it's affecting them in a way that some people might consider getting an artwork that is generated by an AI, which means less artists, will be recognized as artists. So what we're trying to implement here, as we mentioned, that we are trying to incorporate the AI into our online art gallery. We're trying to find a way to make people realize, the uniqueness of an artist, as compared to what AI can do. So we're trying to implement some of the features that AI can do and show them the limitations of what AI can do. There's a lot of artists that are doing NFTs, that are into NFTs. So we want to also give them a platform to do that. And in a way that we will, we're trying to broaden the market so that people can actually see the difference between what an artist can do and what AI can do. So in a way, we are trying to make sure that people, they don't get, AI can actually communicate better than what a person can actually do. So on our next online art gallery, I think it will make sense once it is online. So yeah, I think let me just pause here for now.
Yeah.
But I think
Uh,
we um,
uh, Fascinating. You're raising some super cool stuff, which is exactly where I wanted to go with this conversation. Firstly, let's just unpick it bit by bit. Just for my listeners, Ned, just explain to us how would you incorporate it into Obtain Gallery or Obtain Art, and how would what's the process, and basically what will it do?
okay. So yeah, this was supposed to be a surprise, but I'll just say,
Okay,
we
okay, okay.
yeah. We actually had so many requests from clients who wanted to commission artists. Let's say they want a portrait of their family and stuff. So we created a bot that can do that. And then at the same time, for example, let's say someone wants you, Wesley Pepper, to do a portrait for them. So what we will do is, first they will try AI. So AI will do what they want. It'll make that portrait for them, and then afterwards we will actually ask you, Wesley Pepper, to do a portrait so that they can just compare between what AI can do and what you can do. And after that, we will, because AI just does what you tell it to do. and then we will give the artist a chance to actually explain the process, so that they can actually understand, the process behind making that type of art, as compared to something that can generate that thing within seconds, So we realize that most people, they want to commission artists, and we've seen through Google Analytics that most people are now asking AI to actually make artworks, So we might, for us to make sure that clients don't head over that route, we will sort of like compare the AI with what artists can do, So we're trying to find a
Fantastic.
system where eventually, let's say an AI that does some style similar to you as an artist, and then the AI again will be able to recommend artists that are similar to the style that you have
Fantastic.
selected using AI. And then they can see artworks that is similar to this, and then we can give them something which will compel them to, try, also maybe giving you an opportunity to redo what they wanted, and then they can compare from there. So either way, if let's say the AI, they decide to go with the AI, we decided that we will split even the shares with artists, because of we will use the artist type of like their technique to generate that sighting image. So if let's say they select a style that is similar to your artwork, if they end up, however, deciding to go with the AI picture, whatever they pay, we will split with the artist. So in that way, that we know that even what.
Fantastic, fantastic. You actually said quite a bit there. And I just want to just for the listeners. Firstly, I think it's a fantastic initiative, and you're working within the system, and I think that's beautiful. So I guess from myself, like I like to come in like fantastic. Like if I had all these funny gimmicks, I'll have all the fire and all these like sound tricks and shit. But I think that's fantastic, man. It actually makes me excited because yeah, let me just fantastic, man. I wanted to get into the. Let me just turn off my video just to make the line crisper. I want to get into the point that you're saying that a lot of clients are requesting like portraits and things like that to be done in AI. Answer me this, my brother. As a gallery owner, do you think that AI will make, because you can generate it really quickly and it's available? Do you think that will make it, or rather AI generated art will become redundant very quickly, given that like there'll be just too much of it on the market? And it might just be like, or just sorry, it's my last point that this might just be like a peak, and after that it'll flatten. What's your take on that?
Can you repeat the question again?
Okay, okay. Let me just repeat it slower. So what I want to say is that 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 AI can generate art very quickly, and it's in high demand. So your what's your opinion as a gallery owner? Like, do you think that because it's so available that it'll make AI generated art redundant very quickly?
Yes, yes. And another thing that I've noticed, especially with the AI, and most people getting to that. There's even courses where it teaches people how to properly ask AI to generate what you want, But I strongly believe, like, it looks like there is nothing that says, this was done by human being. Like, there's nothing that makes it that special, AI, you can train an AI to actually do what it wants to do, but what I'm seeing, or what my fear is, if we rely strictly on that, it's more like we are killing, artists, or, upcoming artists. Like the opportunities actually slimming out. There's a website, I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, where a lot of people, there's so many requests every day. Like, you get plus minus a billion, requests. People are requesting, AI
Brilliant.
to generate pictures for them. And AI, as they keep on requesting, it gets better. So
Yeah.
I'm seeing that this is something that it doesn't get tired. This is something that can improve, which it does pose a threat, in my opinion. It does pose a threat in a way that I think now the value of art, or the originality of art, is actually not being considered here. I'm also seeing some other artists that are incorporating AI, which I think is good. I think in that manner, as long as an artist is involved with AI, it generates an image, and then the artist, maybe edits some of that image, and then some of them they translate that into maybe oil painting and stuff like that. I think that's also good. However, I think it also limits the artist in terms of creativity. Now they're having something that assists them, in a way. So I'm quite what can I say? I'm against, AI art, because of
Yeah.
of what it can do to artists. Yeah. So I'm not
Interesting.
sure if I answered your question
No, you did,
correctly.
you did. And I sort of want to run with the point. No, I agree there. Let me just put another spin to it. So if you say about a billion requests a day, that's a that's a huge number. That's an absolutely huge number. Um, modern firstly, let me just turn off the just so the line is crisper. In modern, in contemporary world, like trends come and go pretty quickly. Do you think the AI is just a trend, or is it I mean, I can give you multiple examples, but do you think it's just a trend and it's popular now, or do you think this is like it's a complete game changer? The arts has to adapt right now. What's your take on that?
Yeah, like I really think it's here to stay. I don't think it's just a trend. Um, Looking at what it can do, and what people actually invest in it. Like there's a lot of projects that are still coming up. And I believe now it's still new, and but I do believe it will just explode. So if we can find ways to actually use AI, I think that will be better if we do it now, as opposed to, because we do have people who developed, such program. Some of them they're not artists, and some of them there are things that help us. As a graphic designer, I use AI. Sometimes it helps me in some certain ways, but I think there are boundaries where, some people can cross. So I think if an artist is ready now, try to know how to, use the AI to benefit what they are doing. I think that could help us, but I don't think it's just gonna be coming and going, as a trend. I think AI is
Yeah,
here
man.
to
I
stay. That's what I
I
think.
completely.
However, there are people who are afraid of AI, especially they believe that it will take over the world and stuff like that. So
Um,
there's still some, you know, imbalance decision making in terms of should we invest so much on this AI. I think whether they like it or not, people are already investing on AI. A lot of companies are implementing this. There's so many people that are doing machine learning, and I believe there's just gonna be, so much in the years to follow.
yeah. I completely agree there. Fully. It's definitely bad. I mean, it's definitely here to stay. And yeah. I was gonna ask you. You made the point about people being skeptical, and I get that. I mean, we were taught from the early '90s to fear this thing, which I'm very critical on that, and I've spoken about that countless of times on this platform. So I don't really want to go there now. If any of the listeners just listen to any, I think we were just taught to fear technology, and I speak often on tech. In fact, I speak a lot about technology on this platform and arts. Can you give some this is actually kind of a weird question. It's kind of a strange question actually. Do you can you give any form of encouragement, or rather, if you say I come up to you and I'm like all stressed out about what's happening in the world, can you give an artist some form of encouragement to say that this thing can work for him or for her? um what kind of advice can you give to a creative, to how they should at least change their mindset or their processes and so forth? Did you get the question?
Sure. Yes, yes. I think what I can say to an artist is that they just have to adapt. The world is changing. It's not the same as it was before. We cannot just rely on doing things the old-fashioned way. There's so many competitors right now that are usually adapting. They're using technology, they're using, a lot of means to make their life easier. So there's a term that I like, it's quite popular that, you have to work smarter as opposed to harder. So I think as an artist, upcoming artist, I do recommend that people, they should start, investing their time in technology, investing their time in what technology brings, what the online, market brings, because I've seen this plenty of times. I've worked with galleries that do things the traditional way. I've tried this obtain art digitally, and I can see the difference. I can see the potential. I can see where the money is. So I think the earlier you adapt, or you get yourself familiar to this technology and stuff, I think the better.
Fantastic. I agree with you. I agree with you fully. That's also part of the reason why.
Okay.
Everybody. Yeah, the last session ended a bit funny there, and I think it kind of makes sense. Because my brother, just to bring in what I was trying to get across early on, is that we're talking about all this advanced technology, but yet we're struggling to connect, on like just a normal chat platform. So, what's your take on the multiple pitfalls of the South African infrastructure? So, do you think, in your opinion, I guess, what should be done or what shouldn't be done, or how should we, as both entrepreneurs and creators, look at these? I'm just gonna call them pitfalls, and you know what I'm talking about the load
Yeah.
shedding, all the other blah blah blah. So, what's your take on that, my brother?
So, yeah, this is quite a serious issue, and we are struggling as entrepreneurs. Like we are relying on electricity, and when it's gone, we have network issues. And for especially businesses like us, where we are relying on internet, like our website currently, is been delayed due to that. And so, yeah, I think, I don't know whether the solution would be, maybe to find different people to actually manage this. Because currently, in my opinion, like the people that are running the
Yeah, yeah, you could just pick it up from there, from where you left off.
sorry about that. Eh?
No stress, my brother.
The people that are currently running this, they are not doing a great job. Like, I don't see any solutions. All I'm seeing is, this topic, there's who so and so,
Happy, could you turn off your video? Maybe that could boost the bandwidth a bit.
sure. Cool. Yes, so as I was saying,
Yeah.
since we are struggling a lot as entrepreneurs, and I don't think it's just us, a lot of people, because of the issue, and I think it's because of the electricity, so businesses, we are progressing slowly due to that. And I think now this should be treated as something which is a priority, because there's nothing, that doesn't depend on electricity.
I
So I
absolutely
don't know
agree
what.
with
Yes. So I don't know whether the solution would be to, maybe get new company, because I personally feel like, Eskom cannot do this, and I believe there are companies, other people who can actually maybe try to run this. Maybe we should invest in solar panels, making sure that we rely on the energy that we have, the sun. No politics can actually you know
Yeah.
try to do some similar things with the solar energy or with the sun. So I'm not sure, I'm not an expert when it comes to this, but I think this is something that really needs to be addressed and quick, because of I believe that our economy is relying on this, solely this and nothing else. So, and honestly, don't
I
know
hear
how
you.
we can tackle.
I hear you, man, and it's also not it's not our responsibility to come up with these solutions anyway.
Mm, mm,
I mean, we are complete victims of it. It actually infuriates me to see how negligent and how anyway, man. I've been complaining about this the whole year, and it's just a nightmare. So besides the complaining and the frustration, you mentioned there about investing in solar. That's also something I strongly suggest. The issue there is that it's fucking expensive. I got
yeah,
a quote
yeah,
recently, and it's like, oh my man, like a standard household can't afford that shit.
yeah.
And it's also just a weird thing, like where in Kimberley now, the city doesn't even have the solar panels for households, so they have to import it or drive it in, and that's extra costs and so forth. So the cost factor there is something we are looking at a generator though that should come soon enough. But man, I don't know how that's gonna work, but I'll see when I get there. I just want to reiterate what you were saying. Like the frustration is felt all around, and I mean something has got to give. You still with me there, Happy? You still with me there? Did you get what I said? Okay.
You hear me?
Okay. Yeah, man. So you got that last bit that I said? Um, did you the recording? Okay, man. So I was just reiterating basically what you were saying
Are
and
you
just
still
add.
there?
Yeah. I'm actually recording. Um, so yeah, man. I just want I in the last but that I was saying, I was just reiterating what you were saying. Um, yeah. But look here, man. Let me actually just move on to this last bit of the recording, and then we can wrap up because it's obvious that the network is not on our side today. You still there, my brother? Yeah, guys, like, yeah, the network is just not agreeing with us, which is unfortunate because I find that this is a seriously very good. Uh, yeah, I think this is a very good episode, and I would have actually loved to expand much further, and talk in much, greater detail. But my brother, I think, just for the sake of this episode, um, my last question is hold on, just before I ask it, you still there, my brother? Happy, you still there?
Yeah. Yes,
Okay,
I'm still there.
okay, sure. So what I like to know from you is that, like, in South Africa, besides just the poor network and so forth, um, the art industry is still pretty conservative. I mean, we just had the Cape Town Art Fair about a week ago, and
Mm,
it's just still business as usual. The big money is still going to these organizations that's running these shows. It's still, yeah. I read some interesting opinion pieces about it, and I think for the sake of, I don't know, it'd be cool to sort of explore them, but I think for the sake of now, I'll just put that aside. But what I want to get from you, man, and I don't want to pick just for my listeners. I don't want to pick on the Cape Town or any art fair. I just want to look. I just want to give it another perspective. Is that these institutions, we're all losing money at some of these institutions with actual access to government money and larger markets and basically bigger money and so forth. These wheels are still very slow to turn. And we all know that change is usually met with skepticism, and that throughout
Yeah.
history, and that's not new to the arts by any stretch. What's your take, man? Where do you see we sitting now in the beginning of March, right? Technology moves like this. Um, there's so much going on just socially and social politically at the moment that things are really moving at a pace. Where do you see the South African art? Do you see them embracing this new technology? Do you see galleries like yours and mine? I would actually would have loved to tell you exactly about Gallery 360 Africa too, but yeah, just for the sake of this, we can actually have a conversation at some other time. But and others that are sort of embracing working within this technology. Where do you see us sitting in this South African, or when we say Africa, I can throw broader art ecosystem?
Yeah. Well, I think as you mentioned that most companies are now losing money, due to doing things the old traditional way, and if you look at the reality, like most people, the percentage of people that are currently viewing things online is actually escalating. This was true with companies, for example, clothing companies, um, restaurants, places like KFCs, and now they deliver stuff, because back then, they were relying on people walking in the store, and now they're seeing a lot of people, are now engaging, these things, via the online platforms, and it's actually growing. So what I'm saying is, I do believe that now, because of they are still scared of the change, and then the electricity is making it worse. Now they feel like, they can't rely on it. But yeah, but I think eventually they'll see that they don't have a choice but to do the transition like they have to. I'm saying it's a one-way road. There's no other options that we are
Sure.
heading towards the same direction. Just that people are still scared of this. But I think what controls these things, the viewers, the customers, where are they currently? And I'm saying this because of I remember back in 2018, a few galleries were actually operating online. Those that are online were just showing artworks, and then as I was seeing things now, almost every gallery has the option for people to buy online. Some people were afraid that people will hack their customers' account, but thank God there's new security, blockchain,
Sure.
encryptions, which makes people to actually feel like they can actually move to this without the fear of being hacked. And so I guess there's so little information about the technology world. That's why people are still relying on the old traditional way. But I believe the same way that happened to clothing shops and stuff like that, it will
Sure.
happen to the art. What I've experienced lately is people being afraid to buy art that they simply saw on the computer. They wanted to come and see the artwork physically. But I think as time goes by, people will, end up trusting the online platform. Yeah.
For sure, for sure. Thanks, my brother, man. And to the listeners, like, thanks for just bearing with us with all this ups and downs of this network. I think there were so many things I wanted to touch base. I wanted to talk about NFTs. I want to talk about its and everything about it, its value, where it's moving. I'd also love to talk about new markets. I think that's also a pretty big point, because I can definitely see a lot of growth there. And I'd also love to talk about and or rather to add on to the new market is the continent, is this beautiful as content behind me, like where is Africa in this narrative? Because we're all looking to Europe, and I think that market is, yeah. We could actually have a conversation on that too, because yeah, and not just Africa but Asia as well. And I'd also love to just to talk about the future of art events, and when I mean art events, like art fairs, openings, and so forth, because I've always thought that an opening of an art exhibition is a complete and utter waste of money. I found that the fact that you got to buy booze and food for people is, I that is just such an unnecessary expense, and it is completely outdated with today's times. And the fact that all the artwork and all the expenses going into to the overheads of a gallery, sort of like framing, lighting, electricity, etc. I find those costs I think it's outdated. It would have been so fucking cool to sort of explore all of those things, but I'm actually, as we were talking there, I'm also thinking of I'm in constant talk with a whole bunch of creatives and like-minded creatives. It'll be cool to do like a bigger round table. And I mean round table is because something I've been playing with for the idea, but broadcast it live, and sort of target certain social media groups and so on, and trying to make it a bit more interactive. Um, because I do feel that these conversations are incredibly important, and I do get like I would say the fear or anxiety that a lot of artists are working under. That, oh shit, things, I'm already not surviving like this, but now, oh fuck me, now I can completely. And I do think we need to talk about that too, because one of the major concerns, and I've identified this on this very platform, in a post-COVID world, is that so much has changed, just in terms of our social, of our behavior, movement, etc. And none of it has been spoken about. We have all this, and I think these are big conversations that we absolutely do need to have. So Happy, my brother, thanks for the patience first. Thanks for the patience. Thanks for the, and thanks. I mean, this was actually fantastic. I'm going to promote it. I'm going to tweet about it now, about the episode. I'll probably publish it on Friday. I'll work on the episode probably tomorrow. Yeah, man, I'll be in touch with regards, especially with my coming out. I'd love to get your perspectives on that too, and the direction I'm looking to go. And actually excited. This for my listeners. Just in closing, I was actually chatting to the developers yesterday, and it's exciting. Like we should get it done, hopefully in a few days. I'm gonna call it maybe say a week or so. We identified what was the cause of the problem. I'm not too queued up on the technical jargon to explain that, but I will have a fresh episode. I will have a new episode once the app has gone live, and I will explain what I'm going to do in terms of marketing and so forth. My brother, let me not take up any more of your time. Happy, thanks so much for coming through, my king. And it's just one last thing. On all our listeners, remember to like, subscribe, and comment on this channel. And much love to all our listeners, to all our subscribers. Much love, much love, much love. My king, once again, thanks for coming. Listen.
Thanks for having me, and thanks also for your patience, man.
It's needed. It's needed. It's a mutual thing. Thanks, my brother. I'll be in touch with regards to everything, man. Have a good day. Have a great week.
Thanks, you too, my brother.
Sure. Bye.